Imagine a number so large it's hard to comprehend: $73 trillion. That's the combined wealth of the world's richest families. These dynasties, passed down through generations, hold unimaginable power and influence. But how did they accumulate such vast fortunes? What are the secrets behind their success? And most importantly, how does their wealth impact the rest of the world? This documentary delves into the fascinating and often controversial world of the super rich, uncovering the strategies, the scandals, and the societal consequences of extreme wealth. Our journey begins centuries ago. Before the skyscrapers and stock markets, wealth was tied to land. Feudal families in Europe, for example, held vast estates. Their power was inherited, passed down through generations. These early dynasties established a pattern: wealth breeding more wealth. They used their land to generate income, securing their position at the top of the social order. This concentration of wealth wasn't confined to Europe. In Asia, powerful families emerged as merchants and traders. They controlled valuable trade routes connecting East and West. These families, like the Medicis in Italy, understood the power of finance. They used their wealth to fund expeditions, back new technologies, and exert their influence. The Industrial Revolution, beginning in the late 18th century, ushered in an era of unprecedented technological advancement. With it came a new breed of wealth creators, the industrialists. These entrepreneurs harnessed the power of steam engines, factories, and mass production. They built empires in steel, oil, railroads, and other booming industries. Names like Carnegie, Rockefeller, and Vanderbilt became synonymous with this new era of industrial might. They were ruthless in their pursuit of profit, often exploiting workers and crushing competitors. But they also revolutionized industries, created jobs, and left an indelible mark on the world. The late 19th and early 20th centuries, known as the Gilded Age, witnessed the consolidation of these industrial fortunes. Families like the Rothschilds, with their vast banking empires, and the Vanderbilts, with their control over railroads and shipping, reached new heights of wealth and influence. They built opulent mansions, collected art, and wielded significant political power. This period was marked by both incredible progress and stark inequality. While these families lived in extravagant luxury, many workers toiled in dangerous conditions for meager wages. Social movements emerged, challenging the power of these industrialists and demanding better working conditions and a fairer distribution of wealth. The 20th century ushered in an era of globalization. Transportation and communication technologies advanced rapidly, shrinking the world and creating new opportunities for wealth creation. Families that adapted to this changing landscape thrived, expanding their businesses across borders and solidifying their positions as global players. The rise of the oil industry in the Middle East created a new class of wealthy families. These oil-rich nations, often ruled by monarchs or powerful families, amassed vast fortunes from their control over this valuable resource. Their wealth transformed their nations, but also sparked geopolitical tensions that continue to shape the world today. One of the most common threads that binds these wealthy families is a knack for spotting opportunities early and capitalizing on them. They haven't shied away from risk, investing in groundbreaking technologies and industries that would later reshape the world. The story of these families is, in many ways, the story of innovation itself. Consider the story of Henry Ford. At a time when horse-drawn carriages were the norm, he dared to envision a future dominated by automobiles. His innovative assembly line production methods revolutionized manufacturing, making cars affordable for the masses and building the Ford Motor Company into a global giant. While innovation laid the groundwork, many of these families cemented their fortunes through shrewd business dealings. Mergers and acquisitions became key tools for eliminating competition, consolidating market share, and creating massive conglomerates that spanned industries. John D. Rockefeller, the oil tycoon, was a master of this strategy. His Standard Oil Company, through a series of aggressive acquisitions, gained control over nearly 90% of the American oil refining capacity by the late 19th century. This near monopoly brought him immense wealth and drew criticism for its ruthless tactics. The wealthiest families understand that relying on a single industry or asset class can be risky. To protect and grow their fortunes, they've diversified their holdings across a wide range of investments, from real estate and stocks to art and precious metals. The Rothschild family, for example, built their initial fortune in banking during the 18th century. However, they wisely spread their wealth across various industries, including mining, railroads, and infrastructure projects, ensuring their continued prosperity even as economic landscapes shifted. This diversification strategy serves as a shield against market volatility. When one sector underperforms, other investments can cushion the blow, protecting their overall wealth and providing stability across generations. A key factor in understanding the enduring wealth of these families lies in their ability to transfer wealth across generations. Through a complex web of trusts, foundations, and inheritance laws, they've managed to preserve their fortunes and maintain their positions of power. Trusts, in particular, have become essential tools for shielding assets from taxes and creditors, ensuring that a significant portion of their wealth passes directly to heirs with minimal losses. These legal structures, often established by teams of lawyers and financial advisors, play a crucial role in perpetuating dynastic wealth. The immense wealth accumulated by these families hasn't been without its share of controversy. Scandals, ranging from financial misdeeds to personal indiscretions, have plagued some of these dynasties, exposing the dark underbelly of extreme wealth and privilege. Take, for instance, the Enron scandal of the early 2000s. This energy giant, once hailed as a model of innovation, collapsed under the weight of its own accounting fraud, wiping out billions of dollars in shareholder value and revealing a culture of greed and corruption within the company. While these families often present a united front to the world, behind the scenes, internal conflicts and power struggles can be fierce. Succession battles, disputes over inheritance, and differing visions for the future can tear families apart and threaten the very empires they've built. The Murdoch family, known for their global media empire, has seen its share of internal strife. Disagreements over business strategy, succession plans, and personal scandals have played out in the public eye, revealing the challenges of managing both a family and a vast business empire. These internal conflicts often revolve around control over assets, control over decision-making, and control over the family legacy. They highlight the human element within these powerful dynasties, reminding us that even amidst immense wealth, personal ambitions, rivalries, and betrayals are never far from the surface. In recent years, there's been growing public scrutiny of extreme wealth and its impact on society. The widening gap between the super-rich and everyone else has sparked debates about fairness, equality, and the role of government in regulating wealth. The Occupy Wall Street movement, which gained momentum in 2011, brought to the forefront the issue of income inequality, challenging the concentration of wealth in the hands of the top 1%. This movement reflected a growing sentiment that the system was rigged in favor of the wealthy, leaving many feeling left behind. Social media has also played a role in amplifying these concerns. Platforms like Twitter and Instagram provide a window into the lavish lifestyles of some of these wealthy individuals, fueling a sense of resentment and highlighting the stark contrast between their lives and the struggles faced by many. In response to this growing criticism, many wealthy families have ramped up their philanthropic efforts. They've established foundations, donated billions to charitable causes, and become vocal advocates for various social and environmental issues. Bill Gates, for example, has shifted his focus from building a tech empire to tackling global health and poverty through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. His efforts have made a significant impact, but they've also sparked debate about the role of billionaires in solving societal problems. Critics argue that philanthropy, while commendable, can't replace systemic change. They point out that these charitable donations often come with tax breaks for the wealthy and don't address the root causes of inequality, such as unfair tax policies and a lack of access to opportunities. The immense wealth held by a select few families stands in stark contrast to the realities faced by billions around the world. This disparity has fueled calls for a more equitable economic system, one that promotes shared prosperity and provides opportunities for all. One of the central demands of this movement is for a fairer distribution of wealth. Advocates argue that the current system, which allows for the concentration of vast fortunes in the hands of a few, is inherently unjust and unsustainable. They propose policies such as wealth taxes, inheritance taxes, and increased capital gains taxes to address this imbalance. Governments play a crucial role in shaping the distribution of wealth within a society. Through their power to tax, regulate, and redistribute resources, they can either exacerbate or mitigate inequality. The question of how much government intervention is necessary or desirable is a subject of ongoing debate. Proponents of a more active role for government argue that it's necessary to counterbalance the power of the wealthy and ensure that everyone has access to basic needs such as healthcare, education, and affordable housing. They point to the success of social programs in many developed countries as evidence that government intervention can create a more just and equitable society. On the other hand, critics of government intervention argue that it stifles economic growth, discourages innovation, and creates a culture of dependency. They advocate for lower taxes, deregulation, and a reduced role for government in the economy, believing that the free market is the best mechanism for creating wealth and opportunity. As the gap between the super-rich and everyone else continues to widen, there's a growing sense that we need to rethink the social contract that governs our society. This involves questioning long-held assumptions about wealth, responsibility, and the role of the wealthy in a just and equitable world. One of the key questions we need to grapple with is, what responsibility do the wealthy have towards the societies that enabled their success? While some argue that their primary obligation is to maximize profits for themselves and their shareholders, others believe that they have a moral imperative to give back and contribute to the common good. This debate extends beyond philanthropy to encompass broader questions about business practices, labor relations, and environmental stewardship. There's a growing movement calling for corporations and wealthy individuals to prioritize social and environmental impact alongside profits, embracing a more holistic and sustainable approach to business. The concentration of wealth in the hands of a select few families presents both challenges and opportunities for the future. While it poses a threat to social cohesion and economic stability, it also presents a chance to leverage this wealth to address some of the world's most pressing problems. One of the most promising avenues for creating a more inclusive and sustainable world is impact investing. This approach seeks to generate both financial returns and positive social or environmental impact, aligning wealth creation with the needs of people and the planet. Another crucial aspect of building a more equitable future is fostering entrepreneurship and innovation across all segments of society. This involves creating opportunities for underrepresented communities, providing access to capital and mentorship, and breaking down systemic barriers that prevent people from reaching their full potential. We've journeyed through centuries, witnessing the rise of dynasties, the birth of industries, and the enduring legacy of wealth. We've seen how a select few families amassed fortunes, shaping the world in their image. But we've also glimpsed the controversies, the inequalities, and the urgent need for change. The story of the $73 trillion families is far from over. It's a story that continues to unfold, impacting every corner of our globe. Understanding the dynamics of wealth, its concentration, and its impact on society is crucial for navigating the challenges of the 21st century. We must ask ourselves, what kind of world do we want to live in? One where a select few hold the reins of power and prosperity, or one where opportunities are shared and everyone has a chance to succeed? The answers lie not just with the wealthiest families, but with each and every one of us. This documentary is a call to action. It's an invitation to delve deeper, to research, to question, and to engage in meaningful dialogue about the role of wealth in our world. Educate yourself about wealth inequality, explore the impact of concentrated power, and support organizations working towards a more just and equitable society. Together, we can build a future where wealth is a tool for progress, not a weapon of division. A future where prosperity is shared and everyone has the opportunity to reach their full potential. The journey begins with awareness, continues with action, and culminates in a world where the story of the $73 trillion families evolves into a tale of shared prosperity and opportunity for all.